Have you ever felt so invisible that even God seems distant? Have you ever lain awake at night with a growling stomach, gazing into darkness, questioning whether your prayers vanish before they touch heaven? Sometimes existence becomes so still, so burdensome, that it seems the world has erased your name. But what if I told you that the instant you feel most abandoned is frequently the precise instant a trial and an opportunity is walking right beside you? Stay with this story until the end. A single decision made on a solitary path will transform a boy's life forever and unveil a silent truth about compassion, faith, and how God responds to hearts no one else notices.
Welcome to Tales of Motivation.
In a tranquil countryside village encircled by vast fields and lengthy stretches of dirt road lived a boy named Liam. The village was tiny, the sort of place where everyone knew each other's affairs, yet somehow still managed to overlook the silent suffering of a single child. Liam's house stood at the very boundary of the village, with farmland faded into tall grass and stillness. It was a delicate wooden shack assembled with cracked planks and patched sheets of corroded tin. When the wind swept in from the fields, the house moaned like it was weary of standing. When rain descended, drops leaked through the roof and pooled on the dirt floor. Still, Liam called it home because it was all he possessed. He had once been part of a family. His father had labored in the fields, his hands strong and hardened. His mother had kept warmth alive in that small house, humming gently as she cooked, praying softly at night. But illness came without notice. First his father, then his mother. The funerals were brief spoken words swept away by wind and duty. Life continued. Liam remained behind. At an age when other children were guided and shielded, Liam learned to endure. He worked wherever someone would employ him, hauling water, splitting wood, assisting farmers during harvest. Some days he earned a few coins. Other days only a bowl of watery soup handed to him without a word. Hunger ceased being an emergency and became a habit. Loneliness became ordinary. Silence became deafening. But his mother had left him something more powerful than food or shelter. In her last healthy years, when meals were scarce and worry was heavy, she would divide what little they had and say, "Liam, when you have little, give a little. Don't let hardship harden your heart. Generosity keeps the heart alive. Even the smallest gift, given with love, is never wasted." Those words stayed with him. When his stomach cramped from hunger, he remembered her voice. When bitterness tried to settle in his chest, he remembered her smile. He carried that lesson like a warm stone in his pocket, small but comforting. One evening, after a lengthy day of labor beneath a relentless sun, Liam walked home with a small cloth sack tucked under his arm. Inside was bread and a little rice, enough for one simple meal. His hands ached. His legs felt heavy, but there was relief in his steps. Tonight he would eat. He chose the river path home, even though it was longer. The shade of the trees and the constant sound of flowing water gave his exhausted mind a place to rest. As he walked, he whispered a quiet prayer, not requesting wealth or an easier life, but simply for strength to remain kind in a world that rarely was. Halfway along the path, he noticed a figure ahead. An elderly man sat on a flat stone near the water, leaning heavily on a wooden staff. His clothes were covered in dust. His shoulders drooped as if the road itself had weighed him down. His face bore the kind of wear only long journeys leave behind. As Liam passed, the man lifted his head. "Young man," he said softly, "I have not eaten today. I have walked far and my legs are failing me. If you have even a small bite to spare, I would be grateful." Liam stopped. His fingers tightened around the sack. That food was his dinner. Without it, he would sleep hungry. The easiest choice was to apologize and move on. No one would blame him. No one would even know. But inside his chest, another voice stirred. When you have little, give a little. Liam felt the familiar ache, the battle between survival and kindness. Slowly, he knelt, opened the sack, and removed the best piece of bread. He wiped it clean with his sleeve and held it out. "Please," he said quietly, "eat first." The elderly man accepted it with trembling hands. He ate slowly, carefully, as if each bite mattered more than hunger alone. Liam stayed, offering him water, helping him stand when his knees shook. They spoke for a while. The elderly man asked about Liam's life. Liam answered honestly about losing his parents, about working just to eat, about trying not to let the world make him bitter. The elderly man listened without interruption, his eyes thoughtful and calm. When he was strong enough to leave, he stood and placed a gentle hand on Liam's shoulder. "You have a good heart," the man said. "Do not let this world make it small." Then he turned and walked down the path, disappearing between the trees. That night, Liam ate what little remained and slept with a rare feeling, not full, but peaceful. At dawn, the quiet village woke to unfamiliar sounds. Horse hooves clattered against stone. Voices murmured urgently. Church bells rang without warning. In the village square stood a grand carriage, polished, guarded, unmistakable. A herald raised his staff and called aloud, "By order of His Majesty the King, a child named Liam is requested. Come forward." Fear flooded Liam's chest. Slowly he obeyed. The carriage door opened. The elderly man from the river stepped out, but no longer bent or weary. He wore robes trimmed with gold. A simple circlet rested upon his head. "You offered bread when you had almost nothing," the king said. "I travel in disguise to learn the true hearts of my people. Kindness given without hope of reward is rarer than treasure." "I have no child to inherit my duties," the king continued, "and I seek not wealth, but character. You will come with me. You will learn, and what you receive, you will one day give forward." Liam's life changed in that moment, but not his heart. Years passed. He studied, trained, and learned not just leadership, but service. He listened to workers, protected the forgotten, and remembered hunger whenever decisions were made. He never forgot the lonely path by the river, the moment when kindness cost him something, and God, who did not come with thunder or fire, had answered through a quiet test. God often speaks in moments, not miracles, in encounters, not announcements, in choices made when no one is watching. So, if you feel unseen today, remember this: what you do in the quiet places matters. Sometimes the one asking for help is part of your test, and sometimes that test is the doorway to a future you never imagined. If you are walking a lonely path, keep your heart open. You may be closer than you think to the moment that changes everything.